Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.
If you've done all these things you're not approving, you have to think about more aggressive steps. And aggressive conservative treatments are ones that I think of are mostly doctor prescribed. So again, an aggressive treatment is anything prescribed by a doctor that is either time consuming, expensive, invasive, or somehow has the potential to jeopardize your ability to run. Everything involving a pill, a needle, a scalpel, a cast, a fracture walking boot, crutches should be considered aggressive, especially for runners. Physical therapy is a thing that doctors recommend, and you can do a lot of home physical therapy in terms of self-massage and stretching, but physical therapy involving ultrasound is something that you can't really do at home very effectively, although you can order some home ultrasound units. They're not really the same as the ones that the physical therapists use. Doctors often tend to prescribe oral anti-inflammatory medications, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications like Motrin, Aleve, ibuprofen, naproxen, they're all available without doctor's prescriptions. But one thing most runners don't seem to understand is that over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications and those drugs only work to reduce the inflammation if you take them very, very consistently. You also have to take them at prescription strength doses for at least a week to have any realistic hope of reducing the inflammation that is causing Achilles tendonitis. So, if you take over-the-counter anti-inflammatories as prescribed on the bottle, it's unlikely to be sufficient. And, just as a warning, you should not take prescription strength doses of any medication without talking to your doctor first. Now, immobilization is just holding things still, and the most effective way to do that is with a cast, but the way that most doctors do it is with a fracture walking boot. If you reduce the motion, you reduce the stress to the tendon. That is the idea behind immobilization. Now, I wouldn't typically recommend immobilization for early forms of Achilles tendonitis. However, if you're not responding to the less aggressive home treatment, it is possible to order a fracture walking boot online. In some cases, runners only need a week or so just to get the tendon to calm down. But, a word of caution, immobilization can exact a heavy price. You'll predictably get weaker and stiffer anytime you immobilize your foot and ankle. So if conservative treatments don't work, what are the next steps? Well, it's pretty simple. You have to take the next most aggressive step. And there are pros and cons with all aggressive treatments. So nothing in medicine is free. For every benefit, there is always a risk. The riskier the treatment, the more likely you'll need the help of a physician to guide you. And we talk about all the more aggressive treatments in part 2 of this series, but as an example, if you take NSAIDs, you can decrease inflammation. You don't need a prescription. You probably have some at home in your medicine cabinet right now, but studies have shown an association between NSAID use and slowed healing of tendon-to-bone interfaces. So do that with caution if you have an Achilles tendon problems.
Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.